She's a pilot. She's halfway to her bachelor's degree. She's 17 years old. For Rachel Friesen, a senior at Vancouver iTech Preparatory, it's all systems go as she approaches graduation. I'm Nick Vole, and I'm scouring social media for the latest news from across Vancouver public schools. This is VPS Success. Rachel invited me up with her in her Cessna 172 on a sunny Friday evening. At 17, she's as young as you can legally be to have a pilot's license. She already has several solo flights under her belt, but today we're also joined by her instructor, Chris. Before we climb aboard, Rachel conducts a pre-flight inspection,
which is basically kind of the first step of deciding if you should fly or you should not fly. So on making sure there's no damage on the airplane.
We climb on board with me in the back.
Clear!
Okay. Then once we get in the plane, we go to run up. If you notice a rough engine or since you're actually going to be steering the plane, if you notice a rudder doesn't work right, then you should probably take it back.
I ask Rachel if she ever thinks about the life and death nature of what we're about to do.
And I try not to think about it. Then you're kind of uh-oh.
This plane passed its inspection, so we're ready for takeoff.
Ready to go?
Okay. Pearson traffic, Cessna 738, Foxtrot Delta departing runway 26, Pearson. Everything good?
All good in the hood.
Cool.
Rachel's not flown this particular craft many times before, so Chris has a few tips to ensure a smooth flight.
70? Oh, 80?
Closer to about 75.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll do about 75 to get to about 500 feet. And because it's such a nose high altitude, it'll actually transition more of an 85 mile an hour climb.
What's R? Ooh.
That's a rotate speed.
Yeah.
There you are.
Oh, down.
Yeah, I've got that wind kind of right off the trees here. All right, okay, let's find about 75 pitch attitude here.
Okay, so... No.
Then if you feel like you're fighting it, use her trim also.
Okay, that's down here.
She's a needy little airplane. She likes her trim.
Is that I-5, I presume we're over?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I follow when I go on my cross countries because it's really easy.
IFR, I follow roads.
Since Chris is on board, he and Rachel run through a series of practice maneuvers.
So, Chris, how long have you been flying?
Oh goodness, I got my license back in 2013, and I've been flying professionally for about a year and a half now.
Okay. Have you worked with a lot of teenagers before?
No.
Oh, what's it like to work with Rachel then?
I don't know, she's really fun to fly with, you know. We're flying a little Piper Cub together for her tailwheel endorsement, and I don't know, it's always a blast flying with her, you know. She's a good pilot.
Wow. Wow.
Our practice maneuvers today include big turns.
So go ahead and take your time, you know, get the airplane configured.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm going to make sure we're actually level.
All right.
But I can't tell because I'm so short.
So whenever you're ready, let's just do a 45-degree steep turn to, I don't know, whichever way you want to do it.
Oh man, each way is going to be going to the sun. Gotta go this way.
All right.
Oh, someone's calling me. They're going to have to wait.
It also includes worst-case scenarios, like a stall mid-flight.
Essentially, when the plane stops flying. So you have to learn how to recognize and recover from those stalls, and so you don't end up in a very bad situation.
So I'm going to bring that power all the way out. Then just go ahead and just pull that nose up.
Oh, I don't like nose up.
Going. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Hold it off, and recover. Full power, RP, and then flaps to 20. Cool. Good job.
Cool.
At no point did Rachel or Chris warn me they'd be doing stalls, so it kind of freaked me out at first, and Rachel didn't help things.
I mean, I can be nervous sometimes, and I have bad habits of saying "uh-oh" when something's really not wrong.
Uh-oh. 767.
some people think that's like a real uh-oh, and that's not.
I heard a
few.
For someone like me who's never flown in a small plane before, stalls are a bit of a stomach churner. Rachel doesn't like them any more than I do.
It's the anticipation and the fact that if you mess it up, you can make it into something a lot worse.
Being prepared for the worst is part of a pilot's job.
Keeping yourself calm and assessing the situation and making kind of quick decisions without making stupid decisions.
Rachel enjoys the mental discipline.
I like flying because, I don't know, it's cool and it sets you apart from others, and it gives you a whole like skill set, and you can do quick critical thinking without like making stupid decisions. I mean, if you're good enough, I guess.
Well, like what we were just doing there requires that skill.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Not all of her flying goals are that lofty, however.
You can also show off, and that's kind of fun, and then all your friends hate you for showing off.
That's the true goal of any teenager, is to make all your friends hate you.
Another exercise requires Rachel to figure out what to do if her engine dies and she's forced to make an emergency landing.
Oh no, my power, it's gone.
Oh, you lost an engine.
The glide is 60.
Use your checklist.
75.
All right.
Now we find a place to land. Okay.
All right, so which field are we going to use?
Somewhere over here. Not too sure yet, but I have to look into the sun, which I kind of hate. But that's where all the fields are, because I don't want to be like that one lady who crashed in the mountains. You have to choose a spot to land, and that's important because you don't want to crash into anything, and you want to make sure everyone's safe.
Looking for a long stretch of uninterrupted ground.
Yeah, like that wouldn't work because there's towers there. Even though if there weren't, it would look kind of nice.
It's why they invented golf courses.
Yeah. Go all Harrison Ford.
Flying runs in Rachel's family.
My grandpa on my dad's side is
a pilot, and
your
dad's a pilot.
and my dad is, and my mom is, and then now I am.
Wow. Naturally, she developed an interest at a young age.
Well, at first, in like 9th grade, I decided that I wanted to make like flying like my career, because I don't know, it seemed cool. You can go wherever you want for free, essentially.
But now, as she approaches graduation, she's decided to pursue a different career path, veterinary medicine.
I've been riding horses since like 4th grade, middle of 4th grade. My mom was like, you really need to get a hobby, because I tried like soccer and karate and probably some other stuff, but I didn't really get into it. So she was like, well, you like animals, and horses are animals, and that's like kind of a hobby, so.
No matter what she does, she's closer to it than most high schoolers. Through a running start, she's already completed about 2 years of college.
It's a lot of work I'm glad I did early, because then I wouldn't have to do it later. I like doing that, because I can tend to be a procrastinator, but this is pretty nice. There's a whole 2 years where I can spend doing other stuff and working more with animals and flying.
You can't be a pilot without bravery, and Rachel doesn't seem to be afraid of much, including public speaking. She recently presented to a group of students at Hazeldale Elementary.
My topic was inspiration, so I had to inspire a bunch of little like 1st through 5th graders. It's not that easy because they're 1st through 5th graders. They weren't that interested in the flying part, quite honestly.
Her fearlessness carried over into her first solo flight just a few months ago.
Okay, everyone says that you're going to be really nervous and you're going to be like so scared, but I really couldn't care less. Once you're prepared, you shouldn't be scared. That's like kind of what I thought. I wasn't scared. I just kind of flew around the pattern a couple times, and the other pilot in the pattern said I did okay, so I was like, okay, that's good.
Cool, let's go back home.
Okay, cool.
Next fall, Rachel is headed to WSU Vancouver for the remaining 2 or so years of undergrad before moving on to grad school. But first, she has to land the plane.
Pearson Advisory, Skyhawk 378 Foxtrot Delta, northeast shore of Lake Vancouver and bound for Pearson.
Maintain 65.
65.
Yeah, so remember, pitch for speed, powers for altitude, and gotta use them both all at the same time here.
Can't see. Alright. Yeah.
Alright, get that nose coming down. Keep it coming down.
It's It's not until we've landed that I learned that I'm the first person, besides her instructor, whom Rachel has ever taken up in the air.
So hopefully I was a good pilot. Hopefully I might have scared you like once, but that was about it, hopefully.
Yeah, she scared me once, but she also left me impressed, waiting to see all of the amazing places she'll fly in life.
Thanks for flying Friesen Airlines. Don't unbuckle until we're at the complete stop.
If you see something incredible in Vancouver Public Schools, take a picture and put it out on social media. Just use the hashtag VPS Success to share all the great things that are happening in our community. Until next time, I'm Nicole.